New recruits flock to ISIS following Obama speech. Dozens of children dead after UN gives tainted vaccine to rebel-held Syria. See, it's all about getting the UN into Iraq and all these places to shoot these kids up and sterilize them. And yeah, some are going to have a bad response and die. It's the way it goes. Just the way it goes. But it's just a footnote when it's a bunch of dead kids every day or two with vaccines. And the inserts say it can kill you, but it's no big deal. Go take your Gardasil shot. You know, you can get a lot of attention for yourself when you bury your kid. A lot of trendy moms out there, a lot of soccer moms might like that. DHS official claims border more secure than ever. I mentioned that. Call your representative today. Vote no on military aid to Syrian rebels. Washington blog story about that. Russia's come out and said Free Syrian Army no longer exists. Rebels are coordinating with terrorists. Well, that's what Colonel Schaefer said a week and a half ago here. He was up in a secret briefing on the Hill, and they said it's way above 65%. And then I talked to another little source, and they said in that briefing, 95%. The Congress knows that the Pentagon has told them that 95% is al-Qaeda, and they don't want, just like a year ago, they didn't want to openly back the rebels and give them air support. And the Pentagon is telling them in classified briefings right now, do not do this. There's no way these weapons won't go to al-Qaeda. And it's more of a wink and a nod. They just want to be on record not supporting this. Because as corrupt as the military brass is, this is really evil. I mean, they're going to go into Syria and kill every Christian and Jew they find and every non-radical Muslim, and they're going to kill literally hundreds of thousands more. And General Jack Dempsey, for all of his problems, went to Obama over a year ago and said, do not attack Syria, do not back up al-Qaeda. We're going to have a rebellion in the armed forces, and it's going to come out that you're aiding al-Qaeda. So that's why I've said it's a real moral moment for the U.S. military and for the FBI, for that matter, that are out arresting ISIS people. When I guarantee you that's not who they've been told to target. And they are being forced to release them or drop the cases. But they're trying to go after these real people. Just like before 9/11, the FBI was tracking the hijackers and trying to stop them, being ordered to stand down in Phoenix and in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and on and on and on. They're compartmentalized, though. Their hands are tied. So now Dempsey, in testimony yesterday, admitted that they know Arab allies who fund ISIS, because they all know the 28 pages is set to come out. And I've talked to Congressman Jones on air earlier this year. I've talked to Colonel Schaefer, and I've talked to other sources. And I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to say anymore, okay? But it's known what's in the 28 pages, and it's confirmed from our sources on air, Congressman, that Saudi Arabia was running the whole show. And I'm not scapegoating just Saudi Arabia. By saying Saudi Arabia was the quarterback, the entire Western intelligence system, the Germans, the Israelis, the British, the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, Defense Intelligence, Naval Intelligence, at the highest levels, all knew as well. And the Joint Chiefs of Staff, ABC News, USA Today, canceled a trip the week before 9/11 that was set for 9/11 to visit Wall Street. Instead, Warren Buffett had all the major CEOs, over 200, at a, quote, special invited event, flew them in the night before to meet at a secret hangar at Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska. This is Associated Press, what I'm telling you. And they were all told something at that event. We don't know what it was. It's classified. Tell you how high-level Warren Buffett is, folks. Do you understand? I'm just giving you some nexus points here, some dots. But Saudi Arabia ran the operation. And our government, bare minimum, knew in order to stand down. Now, it was very compartmentalized. The computers were taken over at NORAD. This came out in the 9/11 hearings. The computers were taken over, and they didn't call it a hack. They said, well, who's taking control of the system? What are all these simulations in here? And they just laid airplanes and stuff all over everywhere where they couldn't tell what was going on. That's the problem with everything wired into Skynet. Everything centralized. Every iPhone, every droid, every computer, every new appliance wired in to get these codes with codes put into them that God knows who can go in and hijack or control. And then no one knows what's going on. South Korea is going entirely to giant robot sentries with 50 cal and even higher caliber guns, artillery. What was Napoleon's quote? War is made with artillery. Napoleon Bonaparte. What did Rudyard Kipling say? Thank God the guns. Thank God the guns. Or what's the exact quote? It's like, the guns. Thank God for the guns. The point is that everything's converting to robots. Everything's converting to drones. Everything is converting right now. This is a master Trojan horse takeover. And they tell people at the NSA, oh, it's being done to defeat other cyber systems in the future, the Russians, the Chinese. It's above that. The Chinese meet with the top globalists routinely, and there's a double cross going on. And this is a Skynet takeover. But the eugenicists, transhumanists run it. And they believe they are going to transcend humanity. Speaking of General Dempsey, why not play that clip where he admitted that he knows of Arab allies who fund ISIS? That's because we give the weapons to Qatar, we give the weapons to Saudi Arabia, fence it to a third party, plausible deniability. You know, you go rob somebody's house, you take it to a fence, who then goes in, who isn't the actual person doing it, and then they sell it to the pawn shop. It's the same thing. Give the weapons to Saudi Arabia, and the M16s, the TOW missiles, the Stingers, and then they give it to Al-Qaeda. Or the ambassadors at a substation with 3 warehouses full of Stinger missiles, you name it. You just kill him. You just order a stand down. You send Al-Qaeda, who's the local security from Benghazi, who runs the city, send him over to kill him. But 2 sheep-dipped Navy SEALs, CIA commandos, they didn't stand down. They ran back. So instead of it taking 2 hours to kill the ambassador, it took 6, 7 hours. And so it was embarrassing, as our military had to sit there and watch a stand down and see they've all now been made accomplices to it. They don't like it. They're like, wow, we really just killed our own ambassador and people to let a bunch of jihadis kill him. And they had to watch it on the overheads. And 6 hours into it, the order came from the White House to just turn it off. So everybody's on ships. They're in Italy. They're at the military bases. They're all, I've talked to the people. They're all sitting there watching in HD infrared, not the stuff they show you on the news. They can watch grasshoppers hopping around the ground with us. Just watching the jihadis kill everybody, watching them drag the ambassador around, watching them offload the missiles and load them on trucks and take them where they took them. And they're all going, wow, it's really all true. Our government runs Al-Qaeda. Our government just killed everybody there so they could have plausible deniability with the jihadis, who are then going to hold the West hostage with the 15,000 Stinger missiles and all the other goodies. And when they shoot down airplanes or when they come across the border and blow stuff up, Dick Durbin will come out and say, it's the anti-immigration lobby. They didn't open the border, so this happened. He's in the news. You're like, but that doesn't make sense. This is an overthrow of reality we're now witnessing. Symbols are powerful, and the globalists have hijacked the symbols of America. They've turned them into their own symbols. Well, we are restoring the idea of the true republic, not the counterfeit globalist empire, by promoting the icon George Washington and others. That's why we're rolling out an 100% made in America line of incredible pro-liberty apparel. We are repopularizing liberty. We are helping fellow Americans rediscover what made this country great. We are the spirit of 1776. We are 1776 worldwide. We are all brothers and sisters in arms in the animating contest of liberty in the long march towards humanity's ultimate destiny of freedom. Visit madein1776.com today and vote with your dollars to promote truly made in America, high-quality products, and promote the ideals of liberty.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.